Hey guys, hope your Tuesday's going well. Ours is going real busy, but I wanted to make sure that I got this video created for you guys because there seemed to be a lot of interest on how we use Flash this weekend. We shot up in Harvard, Illinois. There's a cool old factory there, and it was the crappiest weather. We've only had one other wedding where we couldn't go outside at all, and that happened to be last year. But and again, it was in April, so April's just not a great month for Illinois. But it ended up being like 20 to 30 mile an hour constant winds with gusts up to 50 miles per hour. So there was a time block where it wasn't raining that much, but the wind kind of hindered us going out at that point, and it didn't really work well with our timeline. So we had to really do everything indoors, and we did do everything indoors. There was a time where we were like, okay, let's go out after the ceremony. We got plenty of light, and I walked outside and it was sideways sleeting at that point. So we didn't have one option to do it. Luckily, this venue was really cool. It's a very unique venue. We unfortunately didn't have the opportunity to get some natural light from the inside in most places, but there was one spot that did have some good natural light, and we chose to use that. But most of the shots we took were from Flash. So here's a setup on how we did it and why we chose to use Flash versus just trying to do everything with natural light. So the pictures we took last night, those were as simple as sticking up this setup. So on the screen you see right in front of you, you see that I've got this big light stand right here. This is a 13-foot light stand. Caitlin right here is shooting, and then we've got our window here. So we actually tried to get this window. This window goes into a green room, and unfortunately they wouldn't let us go into the green room because, or the greenhouse, not a green room, greenhouse room. Unfortunately we couldn't go in the greenhouse because there was some sort of insurance policy that wouldn't allow them. That's just what they said, but it would have been really cool to get shots in there, but we couldn't go in there. The closest we could get was a window. So we at first tried with the window light, and that was just not cutting it. It just wasn't looking as well as we wanted to, so we brought out the flash here. So we started off right here with the flash behind her, and she's right here in front of the flash. We've got the umbrella on here. And this is a 42-inch umbrella. We've got our Yongnuo flash up top here, and I think we were firing at about 1/16th power to 1/32nd power. Anywhere in that range is what we were firing from that. And as we started to get closer, I had to pick up the flash and move it. So what I did was, as she got in those closer shots, you saw on the thing we posted yesterday, in the post we had posted there, I actually lifted this flash and held it above, and I was like probably 3 feet right up here, right about where my mouse is. I was standing right there, lifting above, facing the flash, angled towards them but not down towards them. I wanted to kind of keep it straight and even on them, so what I did was I just lifted the flash up and kept it pointing the same direction it is now, and just lifted above them and got real close for those close-up shots. Because the reason why we did that was because as Caitlin got closer, she was starting to block the light, which we couldn't have because it started to cast shadows on them from her. So me moving the flash closer and then in front of Caitlin, so that way she wasn't blocking it, gave us that even consistent light. So obviously you may not have two people on a wedding day, but if you do have one of them kind of move the flash back and forth as you move, the photographer moves, and it's okay for the flash to be behind you if you're shooting, but you need to watch those shadows. So clearly we've got a nice, if we look at this angle here, we're clearly open. We've got nobody in front. Caitlin's in front, but she's over here. She's not in front of the direct path of light. So this light's going down and hitting them directly and filling both the sides of their face and giving them even composition. If Caitlin were to move over here and be on this side of them, the light would be hitting her in the back and it would start casting a shadow on their faces, which wouldn't end up being good. And the only way to get around that is to move the light forward. So in your situation, if you've got two photographers, have them move it forward as you get closer, and then move it back as you're farther away. The second thing I want you to think about is the angle of light in which you're shooting. So right now, if you drew a line from this stand to them and then back to Caitlin, it looks like we're almost at about 45 degrees. This is a very skinny hallway, so think about that. Sometimes you're limited, but this is about a 45-degree angle. So that's why it's a very bright image with very little shadows on their face. If you wanted to make it more contrasty, you would just need to turn them a little bit and put Caitlin a little bit more over here to make it a 90-degree angle, and that will give it a more contrasty slash shadow and lit face look. But I would recommend a 45-degree angle in this kind of situation. It'll evenly compose their faces, and it'll look the best in from my perspective at least. It's what I think looks the best, will be a 45-degree angle in this. So I hope this video helps you guys. I hope you guys understood what I'm trying to say. If you got any questions, post them in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer them through that. But I thought that at least if I did a video, it would be the easiest to explain what I was talking about. But stay tuned. I've got a couple more videos planned for the coming days of how we use flash in different areas and why we chose to not use flash in other areas. So stay tuned. Let me know if you have any questions, and feel free to reach out in the comments if you do have any questions. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.